feast your eyes on this, the Subaru Levorg. Now, by their own definition, it's part sports car, part sedan, and yes, have a look, part wagon. But the Subaru Levorg is not available in South Africa. So why on earth are we reviewing it? Well, Subaru is considering bringing the new model, which was launched as a concept earlier in the year in Geneva, to South Africa in 2020. But why not this model? Well, to answer that, we need to try and understand what is a very complex South African motoring environment. The first world, third world hybrid that is the South African marketplace is best viewed in our car park. Bakkies are our top-selling vehicles thanks to the non-commercial lifestyle appeal of these workhorses. Go figure. And the target market, driven by Eurocentric trends, is being overrun by a price-sensitive emerging market, hungry for the freedom of a set of wheels. Now that is why cars like the Renault Kwid and the Datsun Go, which many journalists feel should not even be sold in this country due to safety concerns, have each consistently been selling upwards of 500 units each month since launch. We need to quit moaning and understand who the target market is. Subaru's payoff line for the Levorg is do something out of the box, and that coming from a company that has perfected the styling of a box. But it looks like the design team have, well, sat on the box. It's flattened out, it's elongated, quite clearly giving you a wagon-like look and feel. Using the Impreza sedan as a comparison, the Levorg has a 65mm length advantage, coming in at just under 4.7 meters. But surprisingly, it's the Impreza sedan with a 20mm longer wheelbase, which only emphasizes the Levorg's rear overhang. It is in profile that we can see this is no Outback. With a ground clearance of only 135mm and a Bilstein sport suspension as standard on the GTS spec that we are driving, their famed all-wheel drive system is going to focus on tarmac performance only. The front end is, well, typical Subaru. There's chrome detailing outlining the grille, as well as accentuating the fog and indicator lights. There's also self-leveling LED lights to show you the way. But there is this, the massive scoop on the front bonnet that just dominates the whole front end. This makes it pretty clear that this Scooby has some serious performance intentions. Integrated spoiler, twin pipes and rear diffuser finish off the sporty touches. But the real benefit of a wagon is obviously the boot. With 520 litres, it's 62 litres more than the sedan. But you can also electronically flip forward that row of seats, giving you a very usable just on 1,500 litres. But the other real benefit is behind the wheel. You get sedan-like behaviour on road with the practicality and space benefits of an SUV. That is why we love wagons. You know, I think Subaru have already nailed this crossbreed personality. It's not all fire and brimstone that you expect from an STI, but it's not driving Miss Daisy either. The Levorg has got the usual Subaru suspects at play. Their 2-litre horizontally opposed turbo boxer engine is coupled to their sports lineartronic CVT transmission. And with 197 kilowatts and 350 newton meters of torque, let me tell you that is plenty performance for this application. What I do like in particular is that there's no turbo lag, there's also no whine from that CVT transmission. A transmission that Subaru does really well. And what is cool, if you put it into manual mode and you use the paddles, or you select Sport Sharp, it actually gives you a stepped gearing sensation that you'd come to expect from a traditional auto box. And it also comes standard with the best safety system in the market, EyeSight. With adaptive cruise control, lane departure and sway warning, pre-collision braking, brake and steering assist, throttle management, as well as vehicle ahead start alert, it is less about what it has and more about how it naturally integrates these systems and how well they work that makes the stereo camera system the best in the business. Even though it has a Bilstein sport suspension, I think they've got the ride quality just right. It's comfortable enough to soak up pretty much anything that the South African roads can throw at it. In actual fact, some people might like it to be a little bit firmer. But what is interesting, and something we never get to see on our launch vehicles, is that this Levorg actually has 26,000 kilometers on the clock. And you know what? Not a rattle or a squeak. And that's testament to Subaru's good build quality. Like all Subarus, the interior is conservative. The blue stitching standard on the GTS are the only flash elements. The interior is well laid out and incredibly well specced. The sport seats up front have heating, and the driver also gets a memory function and 8-way electronic adjustment. But most importantly, they are really comfortable. The D-shaped steering wheel is adorned with buttons for the adaptive cruise control, the intelligent drive modes, as well as accessing the multi-function display. There is also a 7-inch touchscreen standard with navigation as well as Bluetooth connectivity. And you'll find 2 USB ports up front to easily connect your smartphone device. It's also Pandora and Siri compatible. Now there's an additional 2 USB charging points in the rear, and a nice touch is the reverse camera with a side view displayed in the multi-function display. Stepping into a wagon, any wagon, let alone the Levorg, will be doing something out of the box for our buyers. But for a brand that has stuck to their wagons here in South Africa, if they can get the production model to look anything like that concept in Geneva, then maybe, just maybe, they can sway perceptions.